What is going on, YouTube? So, God. Alright, so we're just going to get into this. So I sold probably about the last bit of what I'm going to sell for a while for my retro game collection. And as a lot of you know, we've talked about collection addiction in the past, and how I found myself suffering from it. And especially with my history and addiction, it was really kind of frightening to see how much money I was dropping in stuff I didn't even care about anymore. I felt like I had to buy stuff. I felt like I had to hunt for games. I felt like I had to do all this stuff not only for myself to release a bunch of serotonin or whatever you want to call it, the chemical in your brain to makes you feel good, but I also felt like I was obligated to do it to make sure that my YouTube channel survived, because it seemed like pickup videos and stuff like that was all people wanted to see. They wanted to see what you found in the wild. They wanted to see what you picked up. They wanted to see how much money you spent. And once I got a hold of that, I decided to purge. And as a lot of you know, I purged a lot. Like, I think at one point I was taking in 50 to 60 games at a time, multiple different times, just to get rid of them at my local game store. I had a few people say that was dumb. I could have got more money if I sold it online, blah, 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 yada, 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 you know. And it's true. And I'm not going to lie. You know, I've been honest in these videos. That would have been probably the best route to go to make the most money back. But at the time, I just wanted to unload it, get rid of it, cleanse my aura, or whatever you want to say, my cleansing aura, or my collection aura, just because I felt like that was the best way to do it, because I felt like that was the only way at the time to get rid of the, you know, the most at once, because otherwise I might start thinking too much about it. And you know that since that has happened, it's only been good. I honestly could say there's been a few times where I sat there and thought maybe it was dumb to get rid of all those games. Maybe someday those ones that I sold specifically were going to jump up insanely in price, and then I was going to regret every last thing. And you know, maybe someday that's how it will be. But as of right now, it has not been that way at all. Now, I'm going to try not to make this like my other videos where I just say the same thing over and over again. So this is what we're going to talk about in this video. So with Christmas around the corner, I made a huge investment in making sure that my kids had an amazing Christmas. And not only myself, but my wife as well. We decided that the two older boys this year were going to get PS5s. And that was not cheap. We've already paid for them. Well, we bought them. They're being shipped here right now. One of the boys got the PS5 Spider-Man 2 bundle, and the other one got the PS5 Modern Warfare 3 bundle. I felt like it was time to do that, even though it was super expensive, because of what has been, you know, going around here, is that they've been they've been good kids. They've been doing, you know, jobs, sports, and everything, and it was time to really just do something that I felt like my parents really didn't do, is when they gave me the attention when I was doing good, instead of only giving me the attention when I felt like I was doing extremely bad. So we were rewarding them this Christmas by getting something they really wanted, and something, you know, very expensive. So in the last week or so, I was really digging through the last of my collection that I wanted to get rid of in order to kind of recoup some of the losses. Now, I'm at the part where I'm purging, where I'm in limbo, or purgatory, or whatever you want to call it, that I don't know what is real to keep anymore, or what is just me trying to push myself to get rid of stuff. So a lot of commenters have put on the stuff that you should build your collection on stuff that you feel connection with. And so let's just take one step back. So one of the things I knew I had to get rid of for sure was an Xbox One. So we've had an Xbox One in the bedroom for a while now that was basically just used as a media streaming device. And so Walmart had a Black Friday sale going on where you got a Roku stick for like the 4K one for like $15 or something like that. So once we picked that up, we put it on there. We had no reason again for this Xbox One. Now, not to say that we don't play Xbox One in the house, or we hate Xbox now, because everybody knows how I've suddenly became a Sony fanboy with all these, you know, talks with PS5 and stuff like that. But it was just time for it to go, because like I said, we just dropped so much money on PS5s. So the box started off my last purge of it with an Xbox One and controller. Now, I had an NES that was laying around that was extra. I think I've got my one from when I was a kid in a top loader, so of course, why do I need a third NES? So that was the next thing to go. So I had to take that apart just to kind of fix some stuff on the inside quick to make sure it was presentable to be traded in and sold. But then after that, guys, it really came down to is what else can I get rid of? And now I was talking about on the verge of not knowing what to keep and what to sell anymore. I kind of, like I said, I went to that golden rule that everybody suggested is hold on to something that you have a connection with. And I want everybody that's still listening that's made this far in the video that has issues with collecting addiction or any kind of addiction like that, you need to have some principles and some discipline set down. So as I was starting to go through, my GameCube, my NES games and stuff, I stumbled upon the Prince of Persia trilogy for GameCube. And I've honestly wanted to go back and play the series for a while now, but I kind of stayed away from it on GameCube because my GameCube's not hooked up and stuff like that. So I sat there and I'm like, do I have a connection with this, or am I just holding on to this because they're like minty games and they're kind of sought after? They're not really worth an insane amount, but it is what it is, So I went off and I just decided that the Prince of Persia trilogy on the GameCube was going to go. Next, I just kind of looked around in my collection even more, and like I said, I'm getting down to the bare minimum of what I want to keep. I have my private collection over there sitting on my shelves behind my TV. That's my Legends of Zelda games, my Metal Gear Solid games, my RPGs, my PS5 games, my PS4 games that made the cut, like God of War and stuff like that I wanted to hold on to. And then, of course, you have some of the ones behind me, like my N64 games that I love, and there's some boxed NES games, and some other ones back behind me, some other GameCube games that I'm still holding on to. So there was games like Battletoads, and some other ones that I was really just kind of like, okay, why do I still have this? I've actually not even hooked up my NES in forever. I have like my little NES Classic over here that's modded with a bunch of games on it. I got my RetroPie over here that's modded with a bunch of games on it. If I'm ever in need to play Battletoads, I have like 3 different ways to play it. So why am I still holding on to the hardware for a system that I don't even hook up anymore? As of now, anyways. So I was able to get rid of that. So I got rid of, a couple. I got rid of Prince of Persia trilogy. I got rid of an NES. I got rid of an Xbox One. I got rid of a couple NES games itself. And I filled a box, and I was kind of pretty proud of what I was able to get rid of. And I think after it was all said and done, I cashed out at like $170. Some people will be like, well, that's not very much, but it really is, considering the fact too that I love supporting my local game store here in Iowa. And I mean, at least it didn't go to like GameStop or something like that. It went to an actual mom and pop store where I go there all the time. I support her business. She usually, helps me out with some stuff. Like, there's been a few times where I bought some stuff, and like, I remember one time I bought, a little bit of stuff, and I was a manual for Mario 64 sitting there, and I, asked her how much that was, and she just gave it to me. Didn't even charge me for it because, we've done business so much in the past. So I love supporting her business as a whole. So that way it came to, that was what I was going to do. So there you go, it was about a box of $170 worth of stuff, which helped me go on to, to replenish the account for playing, for buying these PS5s. And it just like, I sit here, like, afterwards, and I'm honest with you guys, I sit here and I wonder, was that a mistake? Like when I was driving home and I was still having that regret in my mind maybe, or just the thought of maybe a little bit of regret of, wow, I bought those, I bought Prince of Persia trilogy on GameCube because I wanted to play through the games at one point. But I've had that struggle too with other franchises. So I have all the Uncharted games as well. And I've thought in my head too, crap, I want to play those games. And then I start trying to play them and I just can't get into them at first. So I pushed it off for now. Down the road, if I ever want to get the games too, I think they're very cheap on PS2. So it's no problem to get them there. And like I said, right now, the only hardware I really have hooked up is my PS5. So if I can find it on the PS2 with like the PlayStation, the PlayStation Plus membership or something like that, that might be the route I want to go to play it on. So I might just do that. So people, want updates sometimes on this, and I like I said, I like to be honest with you guys. I like to do these videos because it's how I'm feeling about stuff and how I'm, processing stuff, and how it's a continuance. It's an everyday battle with some of this stuff, because I still find myself even now every once in a while opening up Marketplace on Facebook and seeing some games or something popping up there and being like, ooh, hey, look, that's a good price, and then I'm thinking, well, maybe I should pick those up, because you don't find that stuff like that around here anymore. And then I just had to shut it off, man. I just had to close out the app and get off of it, because I will sit there, and the more and more I look at it, the more and more I will fake myself into buying the stuff, or justify buying it, or rationalize buying it, guys. And we can't do that. I was going to go into detail a little bit more about this in a different video, but I'll talk a little bit more about it. There's been some people recently that have been commenting, saying that, well, you know what, being addicted to collecting is a lot better than being addicted to drugs or alcohol. At least you can make money off of this if I sold everything. And you're not wrong. I mean, you're not wrong. But it's still not something that's completely 100% foolproof, or safe, I should say. Yes, I could make my money back for a lot of these games, plus more than what I purchased, because of the way the market's gone. But it's not about the money, really. It's about the time wasted. It's about the thoughts, the stress, the anxiety, and then sometimes the depression about focusing so much on something, being addicted to something, that it affects everything else. I was forcing myself to do this stuff when I kind of really didn't want to do it, but I felt the need. I felt like I was drawn to it. I felt like I was pulled into having to do it. And I would only feel relief, even for a small amount of time, after I would accomplish it. And that's bad. I don't care, you can compare, apples and grapes, peas and carrots. It's still almost just as bad as being addicted to other, like, substances and stuff like that, gambling and everything. Yes, you can maybe make your money back, but there's people that didn't make their money back. There's people that spent way too much money on one stupid game, then something happened and the market fluxed for that game. I mean, like, there's people out there, we talked in the latest video about how they blew so much money on graded games and then lost thousands because the market corrected or crashed or whatever you want to say. And there's people that were addicted to buying graded games for this reason. They thought they were investing. They were justifying investing into their future. They're just, doing stuff like that. But look what happened to some of them. And I'm not going to go on any more about this one because, like I said, I think I'm going to save that for another video. But addiction is addiction, whether it be materials, substances, feelings, sex, whatever. It's not good in any way. There might be some better than others, as some people said it, but it's still an addiction, so it's whatever. But I want to thank you guys for watching today. If you made it this far in the video, thank you. I mean, I've been loving the comments about how people are enjoying this content. They're enjoying me talking about this stuff, about how I'm passionate about this, and they're enjoying just sharing feelings and moments together through YouTube. Because, I mean, that's what it's about. YouTube is about tubing you. That's what she said. But no, it's about being real with you guys and just broadcasting myself as I am now. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you comment below what you guys have been selling and buying lately. And just kind of let me know what's going on. Like I said, are you excited for Christmas around the corner? Have you been spending much money? Have you been spoiling your kids? Have you been spoiling yourself? Let's just keep this conversation going. You guys know that unlike a lot of channels, I make sure to comment and reply on all my comments. I might miss a reply here or there, but I will reply to your original comment. And, yeah, that's one of my goals. That's one of my focuses on this channel, is to make sure that everybody is heard and interacted with. That's how I want to build my community. So until the day that maybe down the road I have 100,000 subscribers and too many comments to respond to, I still will focus on responding to I can. It sometimes frustrates me that I see I see channels that got big and they don't even read their comments. Granted, I know there's a lot of negativity out there. There's a lot of toxic people. There's a lot of trolls. But you can siphon through there and reply to the people that have taken the time to actually sit down, watch your content, and talk to you. So that is my goal to you, is to make sure that I reply to every comment. And if it's toxic, then yeah, you might get a have a nice day instead of an actual comment. So that being said, guys, as always, stay retro, my friends, and I will see you in the next video. Have a good day, guys.